Right, Prime Minister Modi has in fact concluded his historic Ukraine visit, in which he met President Vladimir Zelensky. This is the first ever visit to Ukraine by an Indian Prime Minister. Both leaders held a one-on-one and delegation-level talks with a focus on ways to find a negotiated settlement to the Russia-Ukraine war. Prime Minister Modi said that India had not been neutral or an indifferent bystander during the Russia-Ukraine war and was always on the side of peace. President Zelensky also held a briefing in which he said he's open to a peace summit in the global south, maybe even in India, and that he needs India on their side.
मेरा मन भरा था, दिल को गहरी चोट पहुंची थी और मुझे लगता है कि युद्ध की सबसे पहली कैजुअलिटी किसकी होती है तो निर्दोष बालकों की होती है और वो बहुत दर्दनाक होता है। हम न्यूट्रल नहीं थे, हम पहले दिन से ही पक्षकार रहे हैं और हमारा पक्ष है शांति का।
As for the peace summit, I truly believe that the second peace summit has to take place. Well, it would be good if it would be held in one of the global south countries. We are very open in that, and there are countries like Saudi Arabia, like Qatar, like Turkey, Switzerland as well, but that's a different direction. And we are currently talking to those countries about hosting the second peace summit. I perfectly support, and I told this to Prime Minister Modi, and we could have the global peace summit in India. It's a big country, it's a great democracy, the largest. So whenever you are saying about diplomacy, I'm both hands for that, for the diplomacy. But I would like to see some specific steps, so that it wouldn't be at the cost of 30% of our territory and not at the cost of our population. If there is a plan like that, we're happy.
I think we don't have really Indian citizens in the prison and in the prison Polon in captivity. So we don't have. If I knew that we have, of course I could release it. Yes, of course we'll release it. Of course we will immediately. Will tell to Prime Minister, of course. So we don't have this information.
The focus of that press conference was diametrically different from what the joint statement says. The joint statement speaks about collaboration between the two countries, about protecting the territorial integrity of the nations. It speaks about 4 specific areas of advancement of ties. But I think what we heard President Zelensky say in this press conference, which I was at, was an extreme condemnation and criticism of India's oil imports from Russia. That's an issue which has come back squarely onto the table. Oil was the big focus in talks, is what Zelensky told us. There are record-breaking Indian contracts. This has an impact on the Russian economy. India is open for Russia, and that this directly helps the Russian army, and that there has to be a way to find an alternative, because India's oil imports help him very much. His society, in other words, Putin's society, will push him if their economy is not being propped up. Again, saying that it's India's oil imports and gas imports which are propping up the entire Russian economy. There is a role for India, is what Mr. Zelensky had to say, and that is to cut or to stop these oil imports, as a result of which Putin would have huge challenges. We understand what money Russia has on their oil exports to India, is what he said. Asked about whether there were any specific proposals that came out of this visit from Prime Minister Modi, or any proposals generally speaking, he said, of all the proposals, all we hear are political statements. So not necessarily speaking just about Prime Minister Modi, but generally of all the proposals, all we hear are political statements. It's not a path We need to see specifics in a plan. So again, he was absolutely clear that, look, as far as the war continuing is concerned, this is a war that's been pushed onto Ukraine, and that there is no way that they're going to swap territories either. So there is no immediate Ukrainian peace solution either at this stage. I asked him whether the war can be sustained if Donald Trump becomes the US president, to which he said, let's wait and see what exactly happens. But the key point and the key takeaway was, we need India on our side, not balancing Russia and Ukraine. And then, you know, I mean, he went on to say also that we are ready for, he also went on to say, we are not happy we didn't get India's support in the United Nations resolutions, but that's in the past. We look forward to a new future. But India is a very influential country. If India's attitude can be changed, and he's talking once again about oil imports from Russia, then this will have an impact on the war. He, in fact, said it in more direct terms. He said if India's attitude can change, then this war can come to an end if India ceases its oil imports. So that's what the President Zelensky actually had to say, and a very, very direct attack. And I wouldn't use the word attack, but a very, very direct series of statements as he saw the relationship with India. He did, of course, say that he would certainly welcome arms imports from India as well. And if there were any plants which were being set up, that's certainly something that can be considered.
Now in Maharashtra, after the sexual assault of 2 minor girls in Badlapur, 2 more cases involving minors in Kolhapur and in Pune. The body of a 10-year-old girl was found in a sugarcane field in Kolhapur district of Maharashtra. The girl left her house yesterday evening after she had a fight with her uncle over her excessive phone usage. The girl's uncle has been arrested for alleged rape and murder. Police have said that the accused has confessed during interrogation. And also, as we said, another ghastly case being reported from Pune, a case of a school van driver harassing a school girl. The driver has been accused of allegedly sending the minor inappropriate messages, including "I like you," and harassing her both in person and on social media. The girl reported the ongoing harassment, leading to registration of an FIR under the POCSO Act. The driver was confronted and beaten by MNS members before being handed over to the police. And a 14-year-old girl was allegedly raped and thrown by the roadside in Assam's Naga district. The class 10 student was rescued by local residents and handed over to the police. The girl is recovering in hospital, and a report of the medical test to confirm sexual assault is awaited. One accused, identified as Tafujul Islam, has been arrested. Civil society groups in Naga have started protests. Protesters are asking for exemplary punishment, and Assam Chief Minister has assured toughest action and has sent DGP GP Singh to Nagaon to monitor the investigation. While one suspect has been arrested, a massive manhunt is on to arrest the other 2.
আমি টাফ একশন লম এতিয়া মই ডিজিপি পঠাইছো দিনলৈকে আমাৰ অসমত নামনি আৰু মধ্য অসম বৰাক ভেলী আদিৰ দৰে জাগাত আমাৰ খিলঞ্জীয়া মানুহ লোকেল মানুহবিলাক বহুত ভয় আৰু সন্ত্ৰাসৰ পৰিৱেশত থাকে.
Now in district Ludhiana, a shocking story of a 17-year-old girl who killed herself as she was being harassed by village youth. No arrest has been made in the case, and the family is seeking justice.
Stalked persistently by a youth in her village, a 17-year-old girl in Ludhiana has died by suicide after consuming poison. While Sadar Jagrao police have booked the alleged stalker for abetment to suicide, the victim's father says she may also have been raped. According to the father's FIR, the class 12 student left for school at 7:45 a.m. on the 20th of August, but never reached. When a family asked her about it when she returned home in the afternoon, she told them that a youth from the village has been stalking her and had that day offered her a lift, which she accepted. Only he took her somewhere else instead of the school.
हमारे को ये लगता है उसने बलात्कार किया उसके साथ. हमारे को अब दूसरे रोज़ तीसरे रोज़ गांव में से खबर मिल रही है भी 4-5 लड़के थे भी। हमारे पास कोई तहकीकात नहीं आई अभी तक भी हाँ कोई लड़का ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ।
हमारे पास सर ਕੰਮ ਤੇ ਚੱਲਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੋਟਰਸਾਈਕਲ ਤੇ ਲੰਘਦੇ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਜੀ। ਆ ਇੱਧਰ ਆਪਣੀ ਗਲੀ ਪੈ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਜੀ। ਉਹ ਦੋ ਸੀਗੇ, ਇੱਕ ਉਹਦਾ ਭਰਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਸਤਨਾਮ ਜੀ। ਉਹ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਉੱਥੇ ਅੱਡੇ 'ਚ ਖੜੇ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਆਇਆ ਜੀ। ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨੇ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਫੋਨ ਲਾਇਆ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਕੀਤਾ। ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਪਦੀ ਭੈਣ ਨੂੰ ਆ ਕੇ ਬਾਇਆ ਉਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਡਰੀ ਹੋਈ ਸੀਗੀ। ਉਹ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਵੀਰੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮਾਰ ਦੂਗਾ ਵੀ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹਨੇ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹਾ ਕੀ ਕਿਹਾ ਕੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਹਾ। ਮੈਂ ਘਰੇ ਲਿਆਂਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਪੁੱਤ ਐ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਮਾਰਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਤੂੰ ਘਰੇ ਆ ਜਾ। ਨਹੀਂ ਵੀਰੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮਾਰ ਦੂਗਾ। ਘਰੇ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਵੀਰੇ ਮੈਂ ਪੈਣਾ ਵਾ। ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਤੂੰ ਪੈ ਪੁੱਤ ਮੈਂ ਕੰਮ ਤੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਆ ਗਿਆ। ਬਾਅਦ ਉਦੋਂ ਘੰਟੇ ਡੇਢ ਘੰਟੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਵੀ ਉਲਟੀਆਂ ਕਰਨ ਲੱਗ ਗਈ। ਸਾਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਵੀ ਉਹਨੇ ਕੀ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਕੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿੱਤਾ, ਕਿੰਨੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਹ ਗੱਲ ਦਾ ਪਤਾ ਹੈਗਾ।
The police say they are awaiting the medical report of the girl and have so far not made any arrest.
ਵੀ ਗਿਆ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਕੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹਦਾ ਕਾਲਜ ਗਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ। ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਜੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨੰਬਰ ਦੇ ਦਿਓ। ਫਿਰ ਉਦੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਡੈਡੀ ਭੇਜਿਆ ਜੀ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੋਈ ਸੁਣਵਾਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤੀ। ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਕਾਲਜ ਆ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਫੋਨ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੱਕਣਾ ਉਹਨੇ।
The father says there may have been more people present where the youth took the girl on his bike.
ਗ੍ਰਿਫਤਾਰੀ ਅਜੇ ਹੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਗੀ ਪਰ ਇਨਵੈਸਟੀਗੇਸ਼ਨ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਗ੍ਰਿਫਤਾਰੀ ਹੋ ਜੂਗੀ। ਅਸੀਂ ਪੋਸਟਮਾਰਟਮ ਵਗੈਰਾ ਕਰਵਾਇਆ ਵਾ। ਸਾਨੂੰ ਉਹਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਫਾਈਨਲ ਰਿਪੋਰਟ ਜਦੋਂ ਆ ਜੂਗੀ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਵੀ ਹੋਈ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਾਰਵਾਈ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਇਨਵੈਸਟੀਗੇਸ਼ਨ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਜੀ।
Villagers are asking why the police have not yet arrested anyone when the alleged stalker has been identified and lives in the same village. NDTV Bureau Report.
We'll head into a short break at this point, but lots more coming up on the other side. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Now to Tripura, which is witnessing the worst flood in decades. With the tragic death of 7 of 2 families killed in landslides due to heavy rain, the death toll has climbed to 20. 2 persons are said to be still missing. The Chief Minister conducted an aerial survey of the worst hit areas and centers sending out help even as close to 1 lakh of people have been rescued. Over 17 lakh have been affected, with many still in relief camps. Ratnadeep Chaudhary reports.
Round-the-clock rescue operations by the Assam Rifles, NDRF and the state forces in Tripura for the past 2 days. Even as the northeastern state battles the worst floods in a long time. Many have shifted to the relief camps in the clothes they were wearing.
কিচ্ছু আনছি না, শুধু একমাত্র ঘুমানোর লেগে 2টা বালিশ আর আমার মায়ের জামা প্যান্ট, কিচ্ছু আনছি। এত জল নাই, একবার পাইছি আমার ছোট থাকতে, আমার বাবা থাকতে আমি জলটা পাইছি। এদিকে জলের ব্যবস্থা নাই, খাবারও এই তো ওখানে রুটি দিয়ে গেছে, স্লাইড রুটি দিয়ে গেছে, ওষুধপত্র দিছে না।
Chief Minister Dr. Manik Saha made an aerial survey to the worst hit areas in South Tripura, Gomti and Dhalai district. The Army and Air Force too have been roped in.
तकरीबन 1000 से ज़्यादा घर जो है वो डैमेज हो गए हैं और कई रिलीफ शेल्टर्स बनाए गए हैं। तकरीबन 500 से ज़्यादा रिलीफ शेल्टर्स ऑपरेट किए जा रहे हैं इस समय और काफ़ी लोगों को वहाँ पर मदद मिल रही है। तो कुल मिलाकर के अभी 11 टीमें NDRF की त्रिपुरा में तैनात हैं।
While the rains have weakened, an orange alert of the Met Department continues for Tripura till the weekend, and therefore the people as well as the government would perhaps keep their fingers crossed so that the rains don't return back. For those now living in close to 500 relief camps, the challenges are plenty.
সকালে কিছু আবার সকালে কিছু রাত্রে আবার গরম করেছে, আমরা লইছি না। তখন আইনা আমরা একটা 10টা দামে রুটি এনে দিছে, তো আমরা রান্না করছি, রান্না করে এখন আমরা সবাই খাম। সবাই তো কষ্ট হচ্ছে, কেউই তো রান্না করে খাইতে পারতেছে না। সবাই গ্যাস ট্যাস আনছে না, ওইটা আমরা মা তারাও গ্যাস ট্যাস আনতেছে না। আমরা এখানে রান্না করে সবাই মিলে যেটুকু পাতাছি এতটুকু খাইতেছি।
The department, at the instruction of our Honorable Chief Minister and the government, has been working on tours in connivance with all the officials and other rank and file staffs of our department. And we have urged upon and taken their confidence that there should not be any artificial crisis whatsoever in the coming times.
Power and mobile networks have faced damages. Over 2,000 land and mudslides have occurred in the past few days, Road and rail networks have also been disrupted. 1.20 lakh hectares of paddy cultivation area is still under floodwaters, damaging the crops. In Guwahati, Ratndeep Chaudhary for NDTV.
Shifting focus now, and Union Minister of Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal spoke to NDTV on his comments on e-commerce and kirana shops that have created a buzz. As the minister seemed to be raising concerns against e-commerce and the setback it caused to kiranas or brick-and-mortar stores. Further clarifying his remarks, the minister said he's against misuse of law and that there should be a marriage of the two ecosystems, so retailers have a fair chance.
You had earlier spoken about e-commerce versus kirana stores. Earlier you had said that you're concerned about the growth of e-commerce. Of course, then you've softened your stand as well. You said that you're definitely in support of e-commerce as long as there is fair play and as long as there is balance.
First of all, I have not changed my stand. My stand has been very consistent even on the comments I made 4 years ago, the comments I made 3 days ago, or the comments I made 2 days ago. The stand has been the same. I have never been against e-commerce. What I am against is the misuse of our e-commerce laws. Even 4 years ago, if you look at my comments, I recognize the importance of technology in our lives, the convenience it gives, the fact that efficiency will go up. But our kirana stores have been our lifeline for years and years. They don't play the role only of a store. They become a part of our ecosystem, our families. I explained that in great detail both yesterday and day before. And therefore what I have consistently said, now of course the media would like to have a headline that I am against e-commerce on day one, and day two I have softened my stand. I've been trying to figure out in my head that when did I soften my stand, when was my stand hard in the first place. But to be fair, and in a way, if I have a softer stand, it's good for my image also. But to be fair, what I'm only against is the misuse of the law of the land. India deserves to protect and ensure the organized growth of small retail, khudra vyapar as we call it. And we welcome all sorts of technologies. I have consistently said, and I have interacted with all e-commerce companies on more than one occasion, that there should be a marriage of the two ecosystems.
And my colleague Himanshu spoke to Confederation of All India Traders Secretary General Praveen Khandelwal on this issue.
आप पहले से भी अमेज़न को लेकर सवाल उठाते रहे हैं, पीयूष गोयल के बयान को आप कैसे देखते?
पीयूष गोयल जी का बयान सकारात्मक है और उन्होंने जो कहा है वो वास्तव में वस्तु स्थिति है वर्तमान में। इसमें कोई दो राय नहीं है कि ई-कॉमर्स भविष्य का व्यापार है। बहुत तेज़ी से ई-कॉमर्स बढ़ रहा है, उसकी जो वृद्धि की दर है वो लगभग 27% है हर वर्ष की। तो उस दृष्टि से ई-कॉमर्स को नकारा नहीं जा सकता, लेकिन साथ साथ ये देखना होगा कि फेयर प्ले हो, हेल्दी कंपटीशन हो और इवन लेवल प्लेइंग फील्ड हो। जितने भी फॉरेन कंपनीज जो ई-कॉमर्स के क्षेत्र में काम कर रही हैं, अगर उनके इतिहास को उठा करके देखें तो हर साल वो लॉस करती हैं और उसके बाद भी वो सस्टेन कर रही हैं। इसका अर्थ बहुत साफ है कि जो इन्वेस्टमेंट वो लाते हैं वो इन्वेस्टमेंट यहाँ पर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर क्रिएट नहीं होता, यहाँ पर लॉजिस्टिक सिस्टम क्रिएट नहीं होता, सप्लाई चेन मजबूत नहीं होती, लेकिन वो सारा का सारा जो सो कॉल्ड इन्वेस्टमेंट है वो उनके जो लॉसेज है वो उनको फंड करके अपने बिजनेस को सस्टेन कर रहे हैं। यही बात पीयूष जी ने कही है और हमारा ये मानना है कि निश्चित रूप से इन्वेस्टमेंट का मतलब है आप इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बिल्ड करें, सप्लाई चेन में लगाएं, लॉजिस्टिक्स को मजबूत करें। वो तो कुछ हो नहीं रहा, तो कहीं ना कहीं ये साफ दिखाई देता है कि ये जो पैसा आता है ये कहीं ना कहीं उनके अपने अनहेल्दी बिजनेस प्रैक्टिसेस को सपोर्ट करने के लिए है। इसीलिए हमने बार बार ये कहा कि ई कॉमर्स की पॉलिसी आ जाए और ई कॉमर्स के रूल्स जो कंज्यूमर अफेयर्स के अंतर्गत हैं वो आ जाए तो सिस्टम सारा ठीक हो जाएगा। ये सबको मानना ही पड़ेगा कि जो भारत का कानून है उसका पालन तो हर एक को करना है और मोटी मोटी यही बात श्री पीयूष गोयल जी ने कही है।
International news now, and the US Department of Justice and 8 states have sued RealPage, accusing the property management software company of using algorithms to help landlords illegally collude and drive up rents for apartments. The lawsuit filed in North Carolina accuses Texas-headquartered RealPage of letting landlords collude by sharing their pricing information with the company's software, which then recommends rent prices. The software keeps landlords from lowering rent and offering deals to attract renters. That's what the Justice Department has said. The case is the first time that the US Justice Department has gone after algorithmic collusion, a growing concern for antitrust enforcers as technology companies offer pricing services based on big data. And that's it from me for now. Keep watching NDTV.